A blind and chair for a large hunter. William Hovey Smith, 2014. I'm the author of Backyard Deer Hunting, Converting Deer to Dunner for Pennies Per Pound, as well as a forthcoming book, Profit, that will tell you how you can use your own creativity to make a million or maybe even $1 billion business.
This is Hovey Smith, the Backyard Sportsman. And we have Zeus barge in travel mode. Yep. And stuff's in it and on it. What this box is on top, it contains a blind with a mirrored panel. Yeah! Once upon a time, I actually wrote a story about black powder turkey hunting with smoke and mirrors, where I actually used a glass mirror, which the turkey saw, thought it was another tom, and came in to attack it. Or at least that was the theory. I never did actually get it to work, but it could have. Well, this blind uses a mirrored panel to reflect the material out in front of it, so it looks exactly like the environment. And it's an open top blind, and the hunter sits inside it, and so only his head and shoulders are exposed. Also here is a seat. It's a swivel seat, and it is made out of very heavy steel materials. Now this is for a big fellow. Yeah. In fact, my friend Bill Krantz was the one who saw something like this and actually built one, and we used it in hunting Butler Island, Georgia, with a little dog I had named Zeus, who was an unlikely cross between a beagle and a golden retriever. And yeah, he could fit inside and stay dry and retrieve the ducks whenever we happened to shoot it. Okay, hence the name Zeus barge. So that's how this thing got its name. So the deer are moving about now. So I'm going to go out to another place to hunt. But in the meantime, I'm going to pick out a place with this blind for Billy and get things set up. Now, I'm not going to leave this blind out in the woods. I think it's too fragile for that. But we're going to take it in, find a place, clear it, set it up. So when Billy comes down to hunt some weekend, okay, it'll be all ready to go.
This is what the blind looks like from the back. As you see, it's camo. Now, this is actually a half blind. You would need 2 units to get 360-degree coverage. 3 if you were a really big guy. Now, the problem with this is that these panels would tend to blow over with any wind at all. Right now it's almost dead calm. The 2 tie downs that they furnish are not very long, and the tent stakes, so-called, well, they would only hold in something like heavy clay. In loose forest earth, yeah, they give almost nothing at all. So you need to bring in some good stakes to get good anchorage in the ground, and or tie these things off to some stout trees so they'll stand up. Now the panels themselves are fairly thick. They are about 1/4 inch thick of a synthetic polymer like cardboard, and so they're pretty stout. But even so, yeah, they will blow. Now let's go around the front and show you the blind's real magic. Now I have the protective film removed from 2 of the panels, and you can see indeed those do reflect like mirrors. Yeah. So they give a perfect reflection of what the ground looks like in front of them. Now the panel on the outside still has a protective coating on it, so it's just a sort of dull reflection. But when I take that off, yeah, it'll look just like those 2 in the middle. This is a really innovative, effective blind. The trick is to keep those mirror surfaces clean. That's the problem. That's why you need to hang on to that box and store it and transport it very carefully.
We're now getting down to our seat assembly here, and these are really heavy, robust steel components here. Yeah, this is some serious steel, and this is some serious welding. My friend Billy is, as I mentioned, a big guy, so he wanted to have the security of having a heavy swivel seat. Well, yeah, this certainly does qualify as being a heavy swivel seat. So let's see what we got here. We have some leg inserts going here. This thing's gonna be stable. Okay, yeah, it's all facing down. All right. So this goes like yay. All right. And we have a central pedestal that goes here. It's a little tight. There we go. A nut to hold that. Now we have a seat that sits on top of here. Alright. And then we have a back that bolts on here. Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty simple. Alright, we'll get this thing snarfed together. We are now supplied with our package of nuts and bolts and a socket set here. So we shall proceed with assembly. Okay. Now what do we need? Always a good axe. Okay. All right. Okay, we have large screw adjustments here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All of which are identical. All right. That should be easy. Okay. Obviously, there must be one on each leg. Okay. Yeah. Well, at least these folks didn't make you go ahead and buy a whole toolbox, because every one of these things was a different size. These are all the same size. And you didn't even need the socket set. Okay. Now, we have the pedestal, of course. Stiff to get started in there. All right. It's a little bit of tedious welding, guys. I empathize with the guys who do this. Okay. All right. Have the seat back. On the seat back, it fits in like this. And it screws in this way and tightens. There we go. All right. That gets your seat back on there. Now there's some other accessory holes here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So obviously they have more in mind for this little seat, and more ways it can fit on different stuff. Okay. And there is one assembled heavy-duty swivel chair.
The blind is in the mid-center of the photo. And I'm going to zoom in closer to it so you can get a better view. And I'm standing now about 25 yards away. There it is. Okay. Yeah. It looks pretty good, folks. You can see a little bit of my tub sticking out to the left-hand bottom. A little bit of black there, but no. Yeah, I think you'd be able to kill critters from that. Now, we besat it for about 2 hours, and we didn't happen to see anything moving. Of course, we haven't had a squirrel moving even, much less a deer. But no, well, the blind looks like it has promise. Well, we now have everything ready for homeward transport. And I think as heavy as that chair is, yeah, I think the Zeus barge is going to be used to haul it around. Plus, it is all steel, and it certainly will rust if left out in the elements. Yeah, we're going to need to put that thing in inside storage and then drag it out when Billy comes to visit, because, yeah, it would rust like blazes if we left it out here. No doubt about it. Well, let's get home. Among my prize-winning books are Extreme Muzzleloading and Practical Bow Fishing, and both of these are available as softcover and e-books. My new book, Profit, examines the premise that there is nothing in human experience that cannot be converted to profit by an inventive mind. And I have one video out on the subject right now, and the second one is in preparation and will be actually released the first week in January. The products that are shown are both from the Sportsman's Guide mail order catalog firm. The Deluxe Ground Blind Seat is really heavy duty. And for info on the GhostBlind, you can go to their website. For information on my books, blogs, and 375 videos, you can go to my website, www.hoviesmith.com. Goodbye and God bless.